Sorry, are we supposed to be keeping distance?
Yeah, keep it 6.
Six.
Outstretch that arm. Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
about it.
All right.
Hey, I'm Chrissy.
Hey, I'm Brad.
I'm sorry. Why did I? We are back at the log cabin.
Beautiful, by the way.
This is where I filmed the first video. It's gorgeous. We're in the middle of nature. I absolutely love it here. I've been living here for a little under a year at this point.
Oh, nice.
It's like quarantine heaven right now.
Connecticut, in my opinion, I don't know if I ever told you this, my theory or my opinion on Connecticut, I think it's one of the most underrated states in the Northeast.
I would agree.
You know, like growing up, it was always just like a drive-through state, like to get somewhere cool like Vermont or Maine or like, I don't know, Rhode Island or something. But Connecticut's pretty awesome. Don't tell anyone. It's got a good garden going. Not bad. Good place to call home, man. So Chrissy, what kind of pasta am I going to be enhancing with mushrooms today?
Okay, so today we are making a vegan Cacio e Pepe dish, and we are using bucatini for this dish. And the base is cashews, because they create a really creamy texture for the sauce. So I'm really excited.
I've got some maitake and some fresh lion's mane mushrooms.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, you know, right now it's been pretty dry. Otherwise, I'd say we'd have a pretty good chance of foraging around and finding some, you know, so at least some hen of the woods.
Yeah.
But you know, farmed ones are just as awesome. You know, being in Connecticut, I figured that we would just find a Connecticut farmer and hook us up with some awesome farmed ones that I'm going to grill up and we'll put in the dish. What's the first step that you start with in this dish?
So first I heavily salted the pasta water. That's important, folks. And the next step is we're going to actually blend the cashews with some miso and some water so that it kind of builds that creamy base that we need to really make this dish successful.
Oh, and the miso, yeah. And that'll add a nice little salt to it too.
Add a nice little salt, kind of deepen those flavors a bit, and add
Well,
a little
I
bit
brought
of
the
umami.
misos. I brought one's a gift, a house gift. This is my first time here. I like to bring a gift to friends. It's the first time to their home. So it's a miso I've been making at home. I started it in the beginning of quarantine. I made the koji, and then it's been aging ever since. So we can use that one. And I brought you another one where it's just some white miso that I packed some garlic in, and just let that ferment. So open that up, give it a smell. It's.
I think the garlic one will work really well with this dish since we're already kind of using garlic as one of the flavors, but it'll just kind of add a little bit more.
I think so. It makes sense. There's
Oh my
not
God.
many. Yeah, right?
It smells so freaking good.
There's not many pasta dishes where garlic doesn't work.
Garlic all day.
I'll have to think about it. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. Garlic, I'm like, the garlic board, if there is one, should be paying me because I love it so much. Well, yeah, I wish I could help you. Like,
No, you're
wish
good,
I had like
dude.
12-foot arms. I guess never mind. Just delete that entire sentence, please.
So we're gonna add a cup of these pre-soaked cashews to our blenders, and then the next thing I do is just pop 2 cloves of pre-peeled garlic in. Pre-peeled as in I already smashed and peeled.
I don't judge people that do, but I don't really buy the pre-peeled ones.
Oh no!
They kind of
peeled
freak
it.
me out.
They're weird.
They're a little weird.
I've heard some weird things
I've
about.
heard some weird things.
I don't even want to go there. Oh, this is beautiful.
So what you thinking? Like a tablespoon?
2 tablespoons.
2. All right, excellent. 2 heaping tablespoons, may I add.
2 heaping tablespoons.
So how much water are you thinking?
I'm just gonna start with
remember
about.
all this.
You can. It's an easy dish. Again, I like easy vegan cooking. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna add about ½ a cup, and you can add more as needed, but you just want to kind of blend that and see what it does. If you want to just take a peek, I'll step back. It could still be blended a little bit more. I want it to be a little bit creamier, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Still a little texture on the sides, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's got like a nice kind of like a tahini
that smell
consistency.
That miso.
Oh
is
yeah, with the
amazing.
garlic too.
Yeah.
That smells real good.
So I'm just gonna add a little bit more of this water.
You made a good point before when you're like, just add a little bit of water at first, even if it doesn't come together, because you add too much and you know you can't take it out.
You can't take it out, and then it's no good.
After this is done with the blender, what's next? Should I throw these on the grill?
You should throw those boys on the grill. I'm gonna heat up these burners, get that pasta water boiling again, and get started on the sauce, and then we'll come together.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so now this mix is fully blended, super creamy. See some heat coming off. The Vitamix is super powerful. But if your sauce does not look like this at this point, then I would just say keep blending, add a little bit more water as needed, and go from there.
You know, I knew you would probably be using some pepper, so I made a little mixture, a little black and pink peppercorn mixture.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like 50-50. And it just smells, it does such a wonderful thing.
Oh my God.
It's so fruity.
Such a deep
I thought it would
floral
be really
notes.
good on the pasta.
I would be happy. I'm
Use
just
it
going
all.
to throw this out.
I'm
Can
gonna
I
put it
use
right
some of
here.
that?
Look at that.
Goodbye, regular black pepper.
It's called composting. The pink peppercorns, they really kind of have like a different, like cherry pit inside it,
They
like a
do,
fruit
yeah.
pit. And I think there's some of them are still kind of whole in there or halved. I think they'll bloom nice in the oil.
Absolutely.
And then I have a little mixture of it's just like a little, it's kind of like a riff of like a za'atar and a furikake kind of.
Ooh, let
You
me
know,
smell that.
I always sprinkle it on mushrooms.
Oh my God.
That would kind of, there's a little sumac
Smells
in there.
so
and
good.
Some toasted sesame and seaweed. It's optional.
That'll also complement, I think,
A little
the
sprinkle?
sauce. Yeah. Oh,
Or a
we
little
could throw that on
bloom?
top.
I'll just put that right here too.
Yeah,
That's the common.
cool.
That's the common
Thank you.
pinching ground. So, Chrissy, I mean, you mentioned. So, how long have you been vegan?
I've been vegan for about 1.5 years now, so it's actually not that long. I was vegetarian my whole life prior to that.
Oh wow.
I grew up in a vegetarian household. You know, I care about climate change and my environmental footprint a lot, so that had a lot to do with my transition to veganism.
Sure.
But also I had a couple health things going on, so it was a really good option for me and what I needed out of a diet. And then animal rights, I do care about the animals.
But I feel like most people generally probably do eat too much meat in general, and and including myself. And I find mushrooms to be, especially some more than others, but something like a maitake or hen of the wood, same. They have sometimes I can scratch that craving or itch for a piece of chicken or pork or steak or something. I can cook up a big, look at this thing, it's like a couple of those, next to some
Absolutely.
rice and a little sauerkraut, it's kind of, you can call it dinner.
Really good.
Yeah, look at that. It's almost cooking like a swordfish steak.
That
Like
looks
a pork
cool.
chop or something, where it gets
Yeah.
that nice
brown.
Maillard reaction. I just put a little bit of olive oil and some salt, and then I just push them, and they flatten out real nice, and they'll pick up some color like that.
All right, now that our pasta water is boiling, I'm just gonna go ahead and add our
Yeah, get the bucatini in.
bucatini to the pot. I'm using this Scalfani brand. It's some Italian company that's in Norwalk, Connecticut, actually.
Oh, no kidding.
Pretty cool. One thing that I've been experimenting a lot with over quarantine has been like cultured cashew cream cheeses and things like that, which have been awesome.
I do a lot of fermentation, but before COVID kind of happened, I was doing a lot less of it at home just because I was busy, and it was just like fermentations are like a lot of those projects are like little babies. You gotta watch them, and it's nice to be able to do them at home. And I have 2 little kids, and they get excited when I'm doing certain things.
That's so cute.
Sometimes they're not so thrilled, but they really like the bread.
Okay, so now that our saucepan is heated through, I'm just gonna reduce the heat a little bit, and I'm going to start by adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this beautiful mix of pink and black peppercorns to the pan now, and we're just gonna allow those to toast.
Hey, what's your take on a little bit of heat? Well, you put a little bit of cracked pepper in there, right?
I did, yeah.
And look, check this out. I got a little bit of fermented pepper flake powder.
Ooh,
My buddy, the Poor Devil Farm, Poor Devil Pepper Company up in New York.
that's
But yeah,
cool.
I'm just
Heat
gonna add a
lends
little
itself-
pinch over let it kind of meld into the mushroom.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to ask you first,
Yeah, no, I think that'll lend itself well because I'm using red pepper flakes in the dish right now, so a little spice never hurt nobody.
Yeah, smell this,
Oh my God,
right?
that smells. I can't even describe it.
Well,
It's
so it's like the byproduct of this hot making sauce.
wow.
Hot sauce making. Hot making sauce.
And I'm just adding a little bit of onion powder as well, just a dash. So in a traditional cacio, you have eggs, you have a lot of Parmesan, right? Obviously, we needed to find a way to make it work without those things. So it was really cool to kind of go on this process of finding, what flavors would work best with it. Obviously, the pepper is a very bold flavor in the dish. So, once you kind of have those notes, it kind of captures the essence of it in all the right ways. So now that our spices are well toasted, I'm actually going to go ahead and add the sauce mixture that we blended before to the pan. So I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit. So once you add the cashew mix, the sauce kind of coagulates really quickly. So you want to mix vigorously to combine with the oil and the spices. And it should be kind of this deep kind of tan color by this rate. And then once the sauce kind of thickens, what you want to do is go ahead and start adding some of that starchy pasta water. I usually add about 1.5 cups so that you can have a sauce that well coats the pasta. Don't get alarmed if you see a lot of chunks. Just keep stirring and it'll smooth itself out, especially with the addition of the pasta water.
You know, I'm still on I think a little chunk might be nice in that sauce.
You think so?
Yeah.
A little chunk never hurt nobody?
No, a little chunk never hurt nobody, man.
How are those mushrooms coming along?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little smell.
Ooh.
They smell so good.
Oh my God.
Right?
What do you think we should do with them? Should we chop them up and add it into
I'll
the
just
sauce,
kind of pedal them, you know, by
pedal them on top?
Can we do that these days? Let's look to the lawyers. Can I touch the food?
My hands are clean, I swear. So I'm gonna go ahead and juice this half of a lemon. Just adds a little bit of brightness to the dish. It's really great. And then give that a good stir, just to well incorporate it. And that's the sauce, folks.
Hot making sauce.
Now we're just gonna go ahead and add our pasta, fold that right in. And I still have the heat on, just on very low, because I want this to well combine.
So what I like to do is just kind of tear them by hand. You know, I'll use these forks here, and they just have like nice little petals, you know, like little pieces, you know. Or you could keep them, you know, however you wanted to eat this dish. You could take a couple little petals, well, you know, and put them right on whole. Let's give her some options, you know, to plate with.
Yeah, before I fold the pasta in, you know, we can save a few for like
Toppers?
plating on top, yeah, and
We'll do
then
both.
we can mix them in. So
Yeah, that's what we'll do. That sounds great.
in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and prepare the zest. So you just want to focus on kind of getting that thin outer layer. So just zest lightly. I zested about half a lemon.
Looks like smoked chicken breast or something.
Oh, it really does.
Let's see if it tastes
That looks
good.
damn good.
If you want to try it with me, I've never had it like this. I just
right.
want to throw that out there.
First time?
If lion's mane people are like, this is the worst way. Everyone knows this is not how you cook lion's mane. Well, we're going to find that out. But maybe it's delicious.
You know what's interesting? It's
The
got this
outside
kind of like
skin?
but also it's got a little bit of like citrus notes in it.
It takes the salt very nicely.
It does.
It wants the salt.
It wants
I think it's very good.
Mm-hmm. That's tasty.
Woo!
Air high five.
Yeah. COVID hug.
I love that.
And we'll slice a couple of those up. Doesn't really want to be cut.
Whenever you're ready, we'll just like fold it all together.
Flying in the mushrooms.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So we chopped up some. I'd say there's what there? About a half a cup?
Yeah, it's like a half a cup, I'd say. Well, cup if you were talking about the whole
and then
kind
some
of...
nice little clustered petals there I think
Yeah.
we could put on
We'll
top.
plate that on top. That would be real nice. So now we're just going to kind of fold these in.
The sauce looks so good.
It's very rich and creamy and just delicious.
It just coats the pasta perfectly.
You want to do the honors and plate these boys?
Sure, please, yeah.
All right.
Oh, should I tong it?
Yeah, tong that. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't have my twirl down just right.
Me neither.
Just kind of like make it all beautiful.
Oh, God. Yeah, we'll make it beautiful.
Perfect.
Oh, God. This one will have to sacrifice to me. Let me just walk away for a second. It's delicious. It's about you got a little bit of cheese, or no, not cheese, but
It's vegan Parmesan.
right.
We've got a little lemon zest, little red pepper flakes, and then I also wanted to finish with a little bit of that peppercorn mixture
Oh yeah,
there.
please, cool.
Yeah, that'll be really good.
Should we each do our own? I guess.
Yeah,
if we're gonna
let
eat
to
these,
each his
right?
own, right?
Yeah. Well, please.
you go first.
Okay. This one looks wonderful.
Oh, you can do whatever you want with the
Okay.
cheese and the zest.
Nice.
Kind of just get in there.
Oh, you know what? I'll do it. Little vegan. It's got
Try
an
it out.
interesting color. We'll put it on the side, okay? Not for the picture's sake, just for my sake. And then we'll do
And then a little of that peppercorn, yeah. Okay.
Great. Well, it
All
looks
right.
awesome. I think I'm going to try to go with like a whole nice little piece of topper mushroom.
Yeah,
And then a whole little composed bite there, you know?
absolutely. Ooh, it's got a kick on the back of the
It
throat.
does. It's nice, though.
But I like that a lot.
You get it from the pepper on the mushrooms, and then you put the crushed red pepper on top. This is really good.
I think this is a really great starter dish for anyone that's just looking to explore more meatless options. That's really my main focus, right? Just, again, making veganism a little bit more fun, a little bit easier so that you don't have to really think about that weeknight dinner. You can kind of just throw it all together and it comes together so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we cook this outside. If we were doing it inside and you were like seriously making dinner, that would have came together super quick.
Really quick.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I think the key is sometimes adding little things like a little maitake mushroom or a little miso or something, you know. You even like feel better about eating a lot of it, right?
And like when you think about a traditional creamy pasta dish, it's so heavy and it kind of sometimes it makes you feel bad after you eat it.
Yeah, it's a lot of
there's a lot going on. Whereas this you can kind of just eat it and still feel good after, which is important.
I mean, to me, I felt like the maitakes, they had like, just by nature, they have like a juiciness to them. But it kind of lightened up the dish in a way.
Exactly.
Right? So it was awesome. Well, thanks for sharing the recipe with me. I'm definitely gonna make versions of that, if not that, and the sauce as bases for all types of things.
It's really
I think
great.
That's a great way to cook and really just diversify what you eat.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for cooking with me. This was fun.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you next time. I like it sometimes too, like where it's so hot it makes my skin itch.
Oh my God, me too. I'm like, ooh, that hurts so
Yeah,
good.
it feels good. All right, you're up, doctor.